Hi and welcome to A Free Spirit Lifestyle. I'm Josh Gerhardt, and on this video we're going to talk all about earthing and grounding. Yeah, getting connected. Well, what is it? Have you heard about it? It's this new thing. It's called walking on the earth with no socks, no shoes, no sandals, and literally connecting. Feet, my flat duck feet, on the earth. And when you do that, poof, magical things happen. Actually, it's not magic. It's just everyday normal occurrences. But we've been so inundated by convenience and comforts in our lives that, we're indoors in our offices, in our homes, in our workspace, and hardly ever outdoors connecting to earth, right? Grounding. And when we do that, some pretty cool things happen. And I'm going to provide some really neat links in the description below so you can check that out. And if this is your first time here, consider subscribing. Totally appreciate that. And there's a lot more info forthcoming. And let's get into it. So, what do you think about earthing? Have you heard of it before? My approach on this video is really to talk to people who've primarily never heard of it or never experienced it. And it's really all about if you have inflammation, if you have depression, anxiety, fibromyalgia, any type of inflammatory markers, and anything that exacerbates any condition, any dis-ease that is created from inflammation, usually starts from the lack of being connected to the earth. And what exactly does that mean? When your feet touch the surface of Gaia, of planet Earth, whatever name you want to call this being, this beloved being, there are negative ions that are discharged. They're constantly actually being discharged. And the negative ions actually stop anti-inflammatory markers, free radicals, inflammation, for people on pain management. 30 minutes a day, right? Just walking, feet on the earth, can dramatically improve your overall condition. Your physical, I talk about the 5 pillars, so physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and energetically. And actually, if you flip that, because to me, in my experience and opinion, it's the other way around. Because disease, the physical manifestation, is because all of the other pillars have not been addressed in one way or another. So just by going out every single day, 30 minutes minimum, okay? You can do more if that's feasible or workable, but if you're someone that suffers from lack of sleep, discomfort in any way, shape, or form, so through tissue, ligaments, swelling, edema, mental fatigue, brain fog, cloudiness, things of that nature, you can't hurt, it's free. You get outside and you pick up these negative ions. And if we go back through history and you look through time, as we progressed into the modern civilization that we currently exist in, we were out foraging, whether, depending where you were on the planet, right? You were outdoors primarily. Then you were in like maybe a teepee, a yurt, a cabin. But think about that. All of the materials that primarily back in the early pioneering days, things were made out of natural materials that were conductive with the earth's energy. So wood, ceramic, clay pots, even nails were made out of like metals that were not, they were conductive is the point I'm getting at. Even the clothing, we had organic cotton, organic hemp. All of those fabrics and textiles and materials were conductive from earth. So we were always sort of in the connection. And when we have that connection, things flow better in our body. We have balance and equanimity and homeostasis and happiness, joy, and it just flows, right? It keeps going. So some of the cool things nowadays, kind of fast forwarding, with this progression of civilization and our jobs and technology and computers and work and cars, and we're so we've distanced ourselves from being outside. I'm not saying everybody, but the majority of us, people in inner cities. And so if you're not in an open area, let's just say, like, I'm grateful I'm by the beach, I'm close to that, so I'm out on the beach pretty much every day. I get connected in the morning. But if you're in the mountains, the desert, in rural areas, I mean, there's ponds, there's lakes, there's ravines, rocks. You know, you can get your feet on top of grass, sand, dirt, provided it's obviously not toxic chemicals. You know, you don't want any agro-petrol chemicals or toxins or synthetics on the bottom of your feet, because that will get absorbed, and that is a whole other story of endocrine disruptors, and we don't really want to. I can go into that, but sidebar to that, it's just there's so many things that we can do that are proactive, that can help us to balance as we navigate our free spirit lifestyle, right? And earthing is key. It really is. And I think if you were to do that every day for 30 minutes, just getting outdoors, doesn't matter what time of the day. In my other video, I talked about the sun, and that's crucial to get out in the early rising hours when the sun is just reaching above 30 degrees above the horizon. You can watch those videos, tons of links there. Highly recommend that. And but with earthing, there are many different things. There's really cool products. There's pads you can get. There's clothing. There's shoes. There's socks. There's all kinds of things. And I personally do not recommend any of the products where you plug them into a grounding cord, because there is dirty electricity, and I've got some data on that. So my first option and recommendation is to get a copper rod that goes directly into the earth, about maybe 4 to 8 feet down, with an alligator clip and a cord that literally can either come up through your window or through a different surface, and that connects to an earthing mat or a grounding pad, and therefore you are discharging all of that dirty electricity and all of sort of the positive ions in your body. And again, bringing balance. It's balancing the circadian rhythms. Another thing that's really cool is if you travel a lot, and maybe nowadays not so much, but even if you're going through different time zones and you get off a plane, usually, right, jet lag, well, that is also throwing off the whole SCN, the suprachiasmatic nucleus, the pineal gland, the all of the hormones, the serotonin, melatonin. All of those things get discombobulated. Why? Because we're disconnected from the earth. We're in a plane and we're going through different time zones. But as soon as you land and you get your socks and shoes and sandals and boots and pumps and heels, whatever it is, you take them off and you put your feet on the ground for about 30 minutes. That really will help to balance you out to those grids, to those ley lines of where you've just arrived. So, some easy tips there. Getting out, like I said. And if you have water, if there's the early AM dew on the grass or on the ground, that's even better, because now water that amplifies the conduction. So that's something to really consider as well. So I'm going to provide some cool links in here. Check them out, some videos, and I hope you found this informative. If you have any comments or any questions, drop me those in the description below or in the comments below. And I look forward to seeing you guys on the next video. Have an awesome day, and stay grounded.